Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a 333-piece white gold limited edition from the turn of the century. This is the Blancpain Leman double time zone GMT. It has two time zones. It has almost 100 hours of power reserve. It is fully swimmable, and at 38 millimeters in diameter in white gold, it's wonderfully wearable. The timepiece is 11.2 millimeters thick, 43.5 millimeters from lug to lug, and it has a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it's a great fit. Being under 44 millimeters from lug to lug, it's suitable for much smaller wrists than mine. I can recommend it for wrists as small as 13 centimeters, and it is low enough with a double gadroon sloped bezel that it will slide underneath a dress cuff, though it is a sporty watch. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, you can see that the buckle is a Blancpain white gold pin buckle on a navy blue large rectangular scale alligator leather strap with a monotone stitch, a sheer cut side, and then a rubber inlay on the bottom. And this rubber inlay makes it supple against the wrist, but also helps to extend the life of the strap by isolating the leather from the moisture, heat, sweat, and grit of your wrist. We have a typical Leman 2100 series case. That's what this is often described as. It grew out of the 90s, and it features a break between lugs and mid case. You can see how there's a sharp break between them. Everything's of high polish. Now this is white gold, and you might be wondering, is it gray gold or white? And it is gray, which means it's not rhodium plated, so it's white all the way through. It is an 18 karat white gold alloy that never needs to be plated. We have a screw down crown here, and while the watch is graceful, it is a sporty timepiece. 100 meters water resistant, automatic winding, and quite well loomed. We'll take a quick look at the loom shot. You can see that to good effect right here. The watch includes two time zones and a day-night indicator for that secondary time zone. So let's just be clear. You've got a locally adjustable time, and that drives the date. Backwards and forwards, you can change time zones, you can travel. Note the movement doesn't stop, it keeps ticking. Now, you can see that though this is not a hacking seconds watch, when you withdraw the crown all the way, everything moves in sync, and this reference time is keyed to the day-night indication. So what appears at first glance as though it might be a moon phase is a day-night indication for that secondary time zone. So the way you do this is you set the secondary time zone, then you set the local time. And that's how you set this watch. The dial is opaline, or sort of matte frosted silver. It's not a directional sunburst grain. It glows rather than explodes vividly. We have white gold hands, white gold indices, white gold Roman numerals. You can see they are beautifully faceted and mirror polished. We have both the indices themselves, and then outboard we have a second set of indices that bear the luminescent materials. This is a very upscale dial. We have a little bit of countersink of the constant seconds and the travel time dial into the dial. We have a nice progressive stepped date window. It's not a sheer cut through the dial, otherwise it would be quite sheer and quite deep. There's a little step between the dial and the disc. Turning it all over, let's see, caliber 5L60. It's based on the Frederic Piguet 1150, so two barrels with 96 to 100 hours of power reserve, which is outstanding. It's a 31 joule movement adjusted in the high horology and chronometer standard of 5 positions. You can see individual numbering on the golden winding rotor. This is a 333-piece limited edition. As many of these Series 2100 watches were back in the day, the edition number was often 333. You can also appreciate that the watch has a beat rate of 21,600 vibrations per hour and beautifully traditional finish. As you can see, mirrored anglage across the edge of the bridges, which, while not quite up to Greubel Forsey or Romain Gaultier levels, is quite attractive and suitable for a watch in this price range and competitive with what Vacheron and Patek were doing back in the year 2000. We have black polished screw heads. We have Côte de Genève across both the rotor and the bridges. And you'll appreciate that all wheels feature a combination of satination and solarization. It's a good-looking movement, extensively hand-finished, and it has stood the test of time as these 1150 variants are still on the market today, and even by today's standards, the 96 to 100 hours of power reserve, very impressive. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.